This episode of the Pete the Planner Show is brought to you by Indiana529.com. So this weekend, we are taking our daughter on a college visit. And I have a lot of anxiety around it. I have a lot of feelings. I am the grandson of my grandfather and the son of my father, meaning that I cry very easily. But I can tell you that the second before we leave the home, I'm going to my Indiana 529 account and I'm looking at that stinking balance. And I'm going to know that of all the things I'm about to worry about for the next 2 hours, paying for college is not one of those things. Look, I'm not trying to draw a difference between those who have saved and those who have not. But if you have not and the future is ahead of you, start an account at Indiana529.com today, because all of the feelings I've experienced in the last 6 to 9 months, you're welcome for not saying 6 to 7 months, are around my daughter leaving for college soonish, are pretty intense. And I can't imagine stacking on top of that, how in the world are we going to pull this off? It's crushing to even think about. So go to Indiana529.com today, open an account, start with a little. That's what I did some 16 years ago, almost actually 17 years ago. Started with not much, then just kept adding to it. And now it is an impressive amount, thanks to my wife. So anyway, Indiana529.com today. Welcoming my friends, Kristen and Dame. Hello, Kristen and Dame.
Hello.
I hate you so much right now.
Are you crying?
I hadn't thought that I'm a year away from taking my daughter on college visits.
Well, dude, you told me last week or 2 weeks ago, she had her 16th birthday.
I know. I just hadn't made that jump yet to where it was like, oh, I'm a year away from taking her to walk across college. I mean, we've done that with her, swim stuff, and we often go to meets her at colleges and pools, but I've never gone there with that intention. So
that's what I'm saying, dude. It is. Here's the dumb part. I've been in the media now since 2005. I'm sorry. And I used to say big, dumb, bold stuff that I had no basis. I still do. But about things that I hadn't experienced, about being married for a long time or having adult kids or teen kids. And as those things start to happen, I look back at all the dumb crap I've said over the years. It is humbling, Dame. And I'll say beyond that, it's just the realness of we all have come upon financial struggles from time to time, and we have to say to ourselves, okay, how are we going to do? How are we going to pull this off? I can't imagine one that we knew was coming for 18 years, and then doing it. What that might feel like. I'm not trying to ruin anyone's life that is in that situation, but that's where we're at. Oh, hello, Kristen.
Oh, hello.
Kristen, the only person in the world out there benefiting from the increase in beef prices.
One of the few. Yes, it's true.
One of the few. We got some beef economics pre-show, or I did. Dame wasn't there yet. Fascinating stuff. Jason brings up a really interesting point that I want to talk about real quick. He says, morning, folks. I see the AI thumbnail has evolved. It certainly has. So let's talk about this. Every show, I go to AI and I suggest what we're talking about. And I use this core image that I used a really long time ago. And then I use the next week's one for the next week and the previous, whatever. It's just, it keeps growing on itself. And so what happens is AI has evolved what it believes Kristen, Dame, and I look like. Kristen has gotten younger because one couple of weeks I told it to make her look older. Dame's hair has gotten darker and somehow more substantial. Looks like Tony Kornheiser.
Oh man, are you serious?
You haven't looked?
No.
I haven't seen today's. Is it?
And I continue to get more jacked because I keep just telling.
Of course, continuing to work out.
Yeah, I mean, it knows. I mean, it's my AI. It knows all the questions I ask. So it's just making me more jacked. And so,
that's hilarious.
The idea about the AI is a thing, right? So one of the bad parts about AI is it's the idea that the snake is eating the snake, that whatever information it refines, it's refining of what it missed on. And so it just theoretically gets worse and worse and worse. So the original image I plugged in was a couple of years ago when I had that original IBJ image of the three of us, an actual photo that I fed in, and to see where it is now compared to then, it's like I feel like I've transitioned. Like we look completely different.
You've got a jawline, my friend.
Well, can I tell you a story about said jawline? And I need you guys to just like keep it clean, keep it tight. Hello, Danza. Hello, Rick Swink. Hello, Quincy. Hello, Andy. Okay.
The fact that you're like telling us, but go ahead. Yep.
Okay, this is a real thing, and I've not yet come to terms with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been on a journey, fitness-wise, and it's obnoxious because most of the things I do are obnoxious. It has now gotten me to hot Pilates.
Okay.
So time out.
Yep.
Time out.
Yep.
Did you take regular Pilates, or in true Pete fashion, did you just jump straight to hot? Okay. I mean, I figured, but I had to know. Go on. Straight
to hot Pilates. Dave, did you have any questions before I continue?
No, I want to see where this goes.
So on Tuesday, I go to my very first hot Pilates class. It's 100 degrees. It's 1 hour of Pilates. And if you're thinking, what's Pilates? I didn't know either until Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. It's really hard.
Yeah.
It is. We're not on machines or reformers or whatever. It's just like the floor stuff. And you're doing these. I can't even explain it. It's just hard. But I loved it. I loved it. It was hard. So I go back on Thursday. Thursday's different instructor. Okay. So like I got a feel of, oh, this is how it is on Tuesday. I go back on Thursday. So I'm in there Thursday. Let me just explain the room to you. A lot of youngs. Okay. And a lot of dudes that are fit. Really? A lot of women that are barely dressed. Mm-hmm. And the men also have all their shirts off. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're in this room. It's dark because it's like it's hot and dark. It's not like bright and hot, which would suck. Mm. And I'm looking in the mirror in front of me, and I've got on a tank top and a cute short. And I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and I'm thinking, hey, man, good work this year. It was literally 1 year since I started working out, and I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, okay. And so I'm in the class. I start sweating. And I'm dying. Like it's hard. I'm sweating so much. I'm hot. I'm like physically hot. And so I'm like, look, I am not at a point in my life in which I want to take my shirt off in public. I'm not there. But man, I look good in this mirror. Like I feel something about the lighting. I was looking good. I took off my shirt. Okay. So now my shirt's off. 30 seconds later, the instructor turns on the lights. And I felt personal. You guys, this mirror, which had me looking like an Olympic bobsledder, it was a funhouse mirror because all of a sudden the lights go on. I look like beige Shrek. And so then the rest of the lesson, I'm like covering my nipples as I'm like doing things. And then I can't put my shirt back on. It's so sweaty. It'd be like, you know how that goes. And then the instructor pulls out her phone and clearly starts taking an Instagram reel or whatever it is, story of the room doing hot Pilates, and I'm in the front freaking row. And then she posts it. And thank God 24 hours is gone. I had to wait to tell you this story so that you can't see it. But it looks like an albino whale had beached in Cape Cod, like a teen whale, like has to order, the type of whale that it goes out to eat with its family. And the whale hostess says, "Do you need a kids menu?" And that whale's like, "Come on, man, I'm 13. That type of whale. That's what I look like. And so here we are.
That's
really was hoping you were going to say, and the teen whale goes, what it asked.
Oh, man. That's a better joke.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh. Anyway, I love Pilates.
So Tuesdays
and Thursdays.
Wow. What did you replace?
Good question. I replaced a cardio day of like either probably a run, which I'll add to the weekend, and then I created replaced a lift day, one of my lift days. But I'm just sort of doing my other 3 lift days differently. And by the way, Pilates, there's so much little lifting and whatever in there. It's like there's plenty of movement.
Correct.
That's
People,
good.
yeah, good. I mean, next time you guys see me, I will have my shirt on.
Thank you.
Good.
It's a lot of paperwork if I don't, you know.
Speaking of vanity, can I can I ask you two a question?
Please, yes.
When you guys see the intro, for those of you who listen to the show, when Pete plays the music, it shows like pictures of us like from previous live streams. Are there elements of that? Like Pete, you have different glasses in your headshots. Like, is that something that you're like, oh man, I think I liked those frames better? Because as a woman, when I see my hair blonde, I'm like, oh man, I think I liked my hair better blonde. And I just think that that's always how it is. But is that true for you guys? Or do you not even notice those things?
Dame.
Nope.
I stopped watching the intro a long time ago. I got to be honest. I do a little dance to the music, but I don't pay attention to the intro. But no, I don't look at that and think I liked my hair better when it was blonde. I don't think that.
Well, that's why I gave the glasses example. Like Pete had like really like they were like really dark plain Jane frames. Now he's got this like tortoise, I think is what they are.
Tortoise shell.
Yes.
Not an actual tortoise.
Right. Can you imagine?
By the nature of my stupid professional life, there's a lot of videos and photos of me floating around.
Right.
And so I got over that a long time ago. Like I don't care. I don't really look. I always like my new glass for what it's worth. I always like my new glasses more than my last glasses. I never look back at an old pair of glasses like I miss those spectacles.
That's fair.
You guys, I chose the topic during the show last week for this week, and I liked it. Then kind of started put together some outline for it, and I still liked it. Then I started diving deep into the research on it, and guys, I'm enamored. I am excited about this show. Not to put you on the spot here, but I'm going to ask how deep you dove so that I know which direction to go. Kristen, 5 is the deepest dive, so much that you had to hold your breath as a free diver for 5 minutes with a dive belt. That is a 5. 1 is you forget what the topic is this week. What are you?
Probably like a 2. I was hoping to play the role of the everyman today.
Great. There's no need to gender it, though. Okay.
Oh, excuse me. That's on me.
Dame, did you see how she did that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gross. Dame, where are you?
I read the outline, and the prediction markets appeared in a couple of news stories that I read this week. So yeah, I'm basically an expert.
Okay, so 3.
2.5.
Okay, so here's the thing. I started out on this journey because we're talking about the prediction markets, as people call them, Kalshi, Polymarket, these sorts of things. Thinking I was gonna think one thing, girl. We are in unbelievable territory today. I learned so much in the last 48 hours about prediction markets, and I'm fascinated by them. So that's what the show is about today, is my new fascination with the fact that I didn't charge my iPad, so I'm going to need a different device to time the show.
Should have yourself a handy stopwatch.
Kristen, you had a nice jab at me in the show Slack before about, was preparation the word you were looking for?
Indeed it was. And to be honest, I mean, I don't think that counts as a jab. It's just
true.
Answering the question.
Okay. All right. So let's start the show. 3, 2, 1. This week on the Pete the Planner Show, we answer your money questions. Here's how the show works. You email us, askpete@PeteThePlanner.com. That's askpete@PeteThePlanner.com. And here's what will happen. It's potentially possible that we talk about your question on the air and for the whole show. It's also possible that it goes into spam because AI bots think your question is ridiculous. It's not personal. Joining me this week on the show, as often and hopefully always, Kristen Elanius and Damian Dunn. Kristen, hello.
Hello, Pete.
And Damian Dunn, hello.
Hi, Pete.
Prediction market. Let's do this because I feel like we probably had all the same sense of what the prediction markets were. That's what we're talking about today. Or what are these prediction markets that everyone's talking about? Kalshi and Polymarket. Like, what are they? Do they matter? Is it just fancy gambling? Like, what is it? Now, I've done a lot of research this week on it. My friends here have done some research on it. But what I'd love to do, frankly, is I would love to know just simple perceptions of the prediction market. And then I want to draw it to where I was and now where I am now. So, Kristen, just real simple. Prediction markets. It was going to be a topic this week. I sent you some stuff. What's your perception of prediction markets?
To make it really succinct, I view it as betting on current events.
Okay, awesome. Wildly succinct and pretty darn close to where I was last week at this time.
Uh-oh.
But no. I don't want you to think like this is not me like, I know stuff now. I just want to share what I've learned. Which sounds like I'm selling Amway. Dame, what's your perception?
Really similar, less regulated, less structured gambling.
Okay. So here's the deal. Prediction markets have been around for an incredibly long time. They just haven't been monetized. So the concept of a market is to find an answer. It's to find the value of something or what the outcome of something will be. So we have to have a basis and understanding of that a market, we think of the stock market and we think of the supermarket for that matter, where money's involved in prices. What's the price of beef or what's the price of Bitcoin? And so what ends up happening is that a market is where two sides come together, a buyer and a seller, and price is established. Are we good?
Okay.
Yeah,
so
sure.
far.
Absent price fixing, a market finds its level. We've all actually said that probably on this show at various times. Okay, so the concept of the prediction market is to go out into a marketplace of ideas and thoughts and information, okay, to predict what is going to happen. Are we still tracking?
Yeah, I think so.
Kristen?
Yes. I mean, yes. Yeah. Okay. Go on. Go on first, and then I'll go on.
Okay. So the market price of gold, for instance, is when various people have information and they're using their own information to figure out what the price should be, but they're not necessarily making the price of it isn't a prediction. The fact that gold goes back down 5% in a day or something isn't a prediction of what the future value is going to be per se. It's just the market value. Nuanced point, but important.
Okay.
So what a prediction market does, it's based on this theory that the crowd has wisdom. There's this phrase that keeps coming up in prediction markets. Again, don't get stuck on Kalshi or Polymarket. A prediction market has been a thing for decades. You just had never heard of it, nor had I, right? So the idea of the genius of the crowd, right, is that in most instances, when you gather all of these perspectives on what will or will not happen, the group think that how that market prices probability is more often right than any one person.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, right. It's a quantity thing. It's an in thing. Is that the larger the perspectives from all angles, the more accurate it is. And here's the weirdest part, and we're going to get into where this goes awry, how this gets taken advantage of, is that even the people who are involved with whether something happens or not. And I'll give you a great example. There was recently in the prediction markets, people could buy contracts. That's how you say invest or bet in this market. People were buying contracts as to whether a Caroline Leavitt press conference at the White House would last 5 minutes or less, or something to that regard, or 55 minutes or less. Okay. So that's a thing. There's a lot of people on perspectives on that. People look at the news, they look at our past press conferences, but then there's also certain players involved who know exactly when it's going to end because they're involved. And what the prediction market says is there's nothing wrong with that. The prediction market says we're going for the truth. We are trying to predict. So even if you're the one controlling what in the world happens, it's fine because we're going for the accuracy of the truth. Does that make sense?
It does. At the risk of sounding not intelligent, I'm struggling with the difference truly between what you're saying and just the market, because the entire premise that someone like the three of us, I think, feel about the market is that it's efficient, that the market knows everything that there is to know at all times. I don't understand how that's different fundamentally from a prediction market.
Time. Because a prediction market is about a binary outcome. It's not about going up or down. It's not about, is it $30 by June 15th? It either is or it is not. It is proven or it is not. That's why sports betting is, in a way, close to prediction markets. Mm-hmm. Do the Patriots win the Super Bowl or do they not? That is different than the price of gold. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, that makes sense.
Dame, how you doing?
I'm struggling to find the difference between like sports gambling and prediction at this point.
Okay. So when you are betting against the house in most cases. You're going to a sports book. Caesars Sportsbook is the house. And so they price the spread based on their ability to make money and what they believe is going to happen. That is one entity, and it is the bookie at Caesars. The prediction market is what everyone thinks is going to happen, and there's no intermediary. You are buying and selling those contracts against another person on the other side. If you think there's a 68% chance that they win, there's another person that is on the other side of that, and that is how it's priced. Every contract is priced at $1. So if 98% of people believe that it's going to win, you pay 98 cents for that $1 contract, and if you're right, you get back $1.02 or you get back $1, meaning you won 2 cents. So it's always at $1. Because those are the two sides of the argument. This is a good place for everyone to calm down and we're going to take a break. I think we're good so far. And where you're going to find out when we come back next is the money side of this is interesting, but the accuracy of the predictions that are being made is even more so, and how the Department of the Defense in the early 2000s was deeply involved with the same thing. That's next on the Pete the Planner Show. I'm Pete the Planner. So far, so good, or am I losing it? I want to make sure.
No, I'm tracking.
Okay.
Yeah. Just trying to figure out what the logo for Pete's prediction market's going to be when you open that up.
I went very quickly from like, oh, this is stupid sports gambling to like, oh, wait, the point isn't about making money. The point is about being right. Which that's a hard separation.
Then why is there money involved?
The birth of prediction markets was about being right, not about making money. And so along the way, someone just chose to monetize it.
So it went from an online poll to you putting dollars against it.
Oh, you said a magic word. This is not a poll. That's another interesting thing. A poll is who do you want to win? It's usually what do you think or how do you feel? A poll is never what do you think will happen? Whereas a prediction market is, what do you believe will happen? If someone calls you and says, are you going to vote for Jeb Bush or Donald Trump in the Republican primary? That is that is your opinion. It's not who you think's going to win.
Are we going to talk about like manipulation?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I have questions.
Oh, I have all sorts of questions. Yeah, I'll have some answers, but is this interesting, or am I losing it? Is it somewhat interesting? Dame, you look skeptical. Or is that
it's my learning phase.
Oh.
It's my learning. You might not recognize it because you've never seen it, but I'm learning. You've referenced a couple times. Please don't answer this because it should be like on the actual show. You said they've been around. Do we have examples of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay.
Oh, don't you worry.
I'm also wondering if this is a throwback to pre-show. Can we just have you start referring to it as Hottie Pilates?
Hottie Pilates? That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that. My daughter and wife, when I chose to, in a moment of weakness, show them the video of me publicly.
That was not intelligent.
My daughter they are ruthless women. They are mean and they are mocking me.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's from a place of love.
I don't know.
Is it?
Dame, did we talk about my, no, we couldn't have because my wife hadn't said anything. Monday night, my wife gets home from Orlando. She says to me, because she'd been gone there for a while. And she says to me, hey, I'd love to go out for Valentine's Day this Saturday night.
Oh.
On Monday.
Oh.
Of Valentine's week.
Oh.
I fancy myself a planner. And I was shocked at that. And so my immediate thought was not to show panic.
Sure.
But in my head, I'm like, this is the worst thing that has ever happened to me.
Your wife wants to go out with you?
Well, that I'm going to be set up to fail.
Indeed.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, okay, one of those. And then I go into my office at my house and I'm just like, I'm having a meltdown, anxiety inside. I'm like, with everything else going on in life, I'm in this by the way, Monday night, my son went to the ER. Tuesday, my daughter rear-ended someone, right? So this is in the midst of all this. My main focus is my wife has asked me to get reservations on a day, 4 days notice of a day you cannot get reservations on.
Yeah.
So talking to the kid, Brennan, here at the office, and he's got a friend. And he was telling me how he was solving this problem. And there's this notification thing on Open Table. You can kind of get in, and when people cancel reservation, jump in real quick and get it. So he showed me how he showed the old bull how to set these things up, set them up, spend a bunch of time. They pop up and you try to get it and you can't get it because it's already gone. It probably feels like Ticketmaster. Kristen knows.
Indeed. So stressful.
It's stressful. And so last night, sitting there, soccer, I'm not playing. And one pops up. Bop, bop, boom, bop. Get it.
Where is it to?
Oh, it's a fine restaurant, good time. I feel validated. I feel like we've had a week here, and this is the best part of my week is this moment.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to go.
Text my wife. Hey, all good. Got that reservation for us. She's like, oh, I don't really care if we go or not. And I was like, I'm going to jump off a bridge. I'm going to jump off a bridge. And I said, in this moment, will you please lie to me and say this is all you've ever wanted and you're very thankful? She said, sure. And I was like, oh, there you go. So that's my week. Let's do prediction markets. Could you have predicted that? 3, 2, 1. Back on the Pete the Planner show, talking prediction markets. You may not know what they are, but you kind of heard about them. Now you can bet on who's going to win the presidential election. You're not actually betting, you're buying a contract. So let's get into some of the mechanics of it. Let's get into the history of it. Kristen and Dame are asking your questions in real time as to how all of this stuff works. So first off, when you believe in a binary event is going to have a certain outcome, for instance, is Mark Wahlberg going to the Super Bowl this year? That was an open, high $24 million, I believe, exchanged hands
No.
on is Mark Wahlberg going to the Super Bowl? And it took longer. And when an outcome is done and there's an answer, it's called resolved. Okay. It took longer than people thought to be resolved. And so there was all this controversy over it. And by the way, if you're Mark Wahlberg's friend who's going to the Super Bowl with him, and you know you were going to the Super Bowl with him, Dame, you could go on there and buy contracts.
Load up.
Load. Kristen?
That's so interesting. So in theory, so then Mark Wahlberg's friend has the opportunity to make a bunch of money because I know he's going.
Yep. But here's the thing about prediction markets, and we're about to talk about their history. They were not designed to be monetized. They were designed to predict the future. They're a thing, guys. We're going to talk about their history. They're a thing. They have recently been monetized, but they were never designed to be monetized. So the idea that a participant in the event has perspective and then adds to the prediction set, there's nothing wrong with that based on prediction markets. Where it gets real gross, real fast is when you monetize it.
Right. Because like if, let's say there's going to be a bet on whether Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce allow people to have an exclusive on their wedding. People are never going to think that's going to happen because they tend to be like really private. And there's going to be so much talk about like their wedding and everything this summer. And then what happens if Travis is just like, hey, this would be funny. Let's let people take the photos for the wedding. Like that's just like the fact that one person can completely change the outcome just like blows my mind.
I think it blows my mind is that Dame had that very same example.
I'm really, really disappointed that you stole my thunder drawing this back to Taylor Swift.
It's a Swiftie.
All right. Do you guys want controversy or do you want history?
I need to know where this started.
Okay. One of the first modern prediction markets is the University of Iowa's Iowa Electronic Markets, introduced during the 1988 U.S. presidential election. You and I, and by you, I meant yous, were talking during the break of what's the difference between this and a poll. What's the difference between a prediction market and a poll? A poll is based on either what you believe or what you want, I shouldn't say this. It's what you want or it's your opinion, not what you believe to happen. So my example I gave you was, think back to the 2012 Republican primary. Do you believe Jeb Bush will be the candidate, or do you believe Donald Trump will be the candidate? Now, that is a prediction market. A poll is, do you plan on voting for Jeb Bush or Donald Trump? That's the difference between a poll and a prediction market. You may say, well, I'm going to vote for Jeb Bush, but you may believe Donald Trump is going to win. We do that with football games all the time. I thought the Patriots were going to win. I did not want the Patriots to win. And so that do you know what I mean? The difference between what you want and what you believe to be true?
100%. That makes complete sense now. I was not understanding that when we started this, but you're exactly right. Very different.
The most popular example, or sort of pop culture example of this, is in 2003, the U.S. Department of Defense publicized what they called a policy analysis market. There's all this video of it at press conferences of these generals explaining how they use it and why they do it. And then there's outrage from Congress people because they think it's macabre to say, will this leader be assassinated? So what the Department of Defense was doing is they were taking internal assets and saying, do we think this government gets overthrown? And so what they're doing is taking people in different arms of the U.S. government, whether it's the CIA or the Navy, and saying, do you believe this government will be overthrown? Do you believe these person will be assassinated? And so when doing that, they're gathering all these perspectives to ultimately get the best view of what they really believe will happen, because this theory has been proven over and over and over again that the crowd has wisdom. The more people you ask, the closer to get to it. And one of the most popular examples of that is this professor had this jar of jelly beans in his college class, and he said, how many jelly beans are in here? When you took the group think and averaged them together, everyone's guesses, it was more accurate. It was within 2% of what was really in there, and it was more accurate than any one guess in the room. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
It is interesting.
So my question to you is, to what degree does the group think or perception then influence the event? Like the example that you gave of like a government being overthrown, when there are multiple people making a decision and they see that public perception is that this is going to go one way, like how does that influence the decision makers' decisions?
That's a good question. Let me circumvent it because I don't know the answer to it. But let me offer you what I do know. Okay. This became a controversy during the Biden administration because what was happening was in these prediction markets specific to the presidential election, Donald Trump was being predicted as the winner.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, it happened. But Kristen, to your point, this is where it got weird, is that money was flowing into the monetized prediction markets to influence that more people thought Trump would win than Biden. And so now there's this idea that you can influence a binary outcome by having the masses in a conspiratorial way weigh in on one side of the issue.
Right.
It's kind of scary, right?
A little, because then it's like people see this and they think, well, I was going to vote for Joe Biden, but now that I see that public perception is that he's not even going to win, like, what's even the point?
And this is why this previously has not been monetized, because of the nature of fixes. Let me give you an example, a couple examples here. So right before President Maduro of Venezuela was overthrown, one person bet way across the spread on this thing. I'm calling it the spread. That's not what it's called. And made $300,000 to $400,000 on basically the exact arrest of Maduro and capture of Maduro. Now, you could say, wow, that's just a lucky stab in the dark. But I think they put down something to the likes of $3,000 or something like that to win that much because it was such a lopsided prediction. Or someone, but this is not a specific, but believe me, not a specific accusation. I'm just giving an example. Let's say someone on the strike team's brother is into these prediction markets, like, you know what, we're going to get that dude tonight. Boop, 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 done.
Yeah.
And by the way the prediction markets work is it's okay because it's not about money. It's about being right. So coming up after the break, going to continue to dive deeper. I'm going to give you examples of real life predictions right now and how they're priced so we can better understand this. This is a good episode of the Pete the Planner Show and Pete the Planner. God, when I do preparation for this thing, are you kidding me?
Wild.
So you're telling me if I'm a professional athlete and there's a prediction out there that I will miss my first shot, I'm not talking about even throwing a game, but just that will it make or miss the first shot? There's nothing against that.
Especially when Giannis Antetokounmpo is now a significant shareholder in Kalshi. And now the NFL has banned any player from investing in prediction markets as owners.
Interesting.
Great. I'll just make my money through throwing occasional plays.
This is interesting, is it not?
I said it's giving Congress.
In what way? Oh, that they can do it. Oh, like the Nancy
Allegedly.
Pelosi thing.
Yeah.
Paul Pelosi would love this.
Yeah. So my question, Going back to something we were the wisdom of the crowd. At what point is it just noise? Like if I'm talking about some geopolitical event, I would much rather hear the opinion of 20 people that know what's going on than take the thermometer of the people that want to engage in the hundreds, if not millions of people that want to engage in that poll.
Okay. So I don't know the answer to that, Dave, but I'm going to give you my perspective.
It's not a poll.
It's
Sorry.
also not.
Okay. What a prediction. Sorry, prediction.
It's okay. As I was trying to explain this to a friend yesterday, I kept saying the word poll. So I'm glad you are too, because it makes me feel a lot better. I had to pre-explain this to someone, so I felt like I could explain it to you all today.
Fair enough.
So Dame, I think every person has a perspective which is developed based on whatever context they're exposed to. And all of our brains work in a different way, that some set of, it's like watching a mystery. At some point in time, 100 people watching the mystery thriller, group thinks going to find the killer, but one person in the back's like, no, it's Mrs. Jones. When it ain't Mrs. Jones, and they're wrong, but most people watching it are going to figure it out. So it's to say, everyone has a little bit of insight on everything, even though they don't have the most informed insight on everything.
Except if you're watching His and Hers.
God, that's the worst ending of any show that's
I
ever.
loved it.
It made me feel so dumb that I
that
took
why
the
you
time
didn't
to
like
watch
it?
it.
Oh.
Anyway, I don't know if that answered it. Let's get into it. I'm talking today. Dame, I've not been this prepared for a show since what episode? You know the answer to this.
No, I don't remember.
Caramel investment fraud.
Oh yeah. Kristen and I just mentioned that guy's name
About him.
this
I
week.
couldn't remember his name.
Well, let's not do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, but I'm saying like I could not remember. And I said, how is that even possible?
You guys, we're not talking about that.
No.
But I want to know so badly, where is the criminal investigation? Because it's all civil right now.
Yeah.
Girl. Okay. I was in the locker room getting ready with some naked dudes yesterday morning, and some really fit guys. And they're openly talking about taking performance enhancing drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Like just normal everyday dudes that are jacked.
Right.
And I'm like, man, wow, we're in a different spot from the last time I was working out. These dudes are like, yeah, I'm going to take this. And I'm like, oh, that's why you look like Lou Ferrigno. And then I was like, I'm not doing that. That's not my thing. Dave, you know how openly people are using gear, as they call it?
I mean, I haven't been in that environment, but I've got some friends who are, and I mean, it's not a private secret. It's discussed.
Kristen was like, yeah, we inject our cows all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Growth hormones for the cattle.
Not true. Or maybe it's true. I don't know. I'm just trying not to get in trouble. Okay, not true.
It's what they give their chickens
before they hatch. 3, 2, 1. Back on the Pete the Planner Show, talking prediction markets. I'm hoping you're learning something today. Prediction markets 168 hours ago would be described as me as fancy gambling. Kristen described them as prediction on current events, bets against current, something like that. And Dame had something derivative of that. But today, I want you to understand that prediction markets are a thing that have been around for decades. It was never the point of prediction markets to have them priced and monetized. The goal of prediction markets was to use how markets work to predict a binary outcome. Let's get exactly what that means. Dame, right now on Kalshi, there is what do they call it? I want to say a bet, but I think it's, well, I like, what do you call a situation, an event? Here it is. Government shutdown on February 14th, 2026. Okay, right now, if you believe there's going to be a government shutdown, it would cost you 92 cents a contract, okay? And it would return to you
8 cents.
8 cents. You would make 8 cents on that. If you believed that there isn't going to be a shutdown because your head is buried under the ground, 8% of people believe that. And so instead of getting a 1.08% return, you're getting an 11.74x return. Okay. So instead of going 1.0x, it's hard to say, 1.08x. Okay. So you take what you put in times 1.08. In this case, you're multiplying what you put in 8 cents by 11.74. So it's not an 11% return. I said that wrong. It is actually a 1,174% return. And that's how the Maduro contract that we talked about in the last segment was able to put her down $3,000 and win $300,000 to $400,000.
So events like that are where it's going to be gambling, because then somebody who just wants to go in, I'm not saying that most people aren't using it truly as prediction, but then there's going to be Damian Dunn says, hey, this is only going to cost me X amount of dollars. And if the government actually manages to pull it together, I really get to benefit from that.
Dame, I think she said that in a really smart way, because prediction markets are about what people think are going to happen. Kristen just described what people want to happen for their own economic benefit. And that's where this gets crazy, is that people will take the other side of the bet, not because they think it's going to happen, but because they want it to happen, which then, in theory, lessens the predictability of said event, but also pays out the people who are likely right.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm looking at that bet right now, and I think, you know what, I don't think that's accurate. I only think there's a 70% chance that we go into shutdown. 30% chance things happen all the time. So it's a reasonable risk for me, and I can put $50 on it. And if I'm right, great. And if I'm not, $50, I'm out. But who cares at that point?
All right, Kristen, how about this one?
I don't like it.
Will Bernie Sanders, what will Bernie Sanders say during his Durham rally? Will he say the word middle class? Will he say the word Bernie? Will he say immigrant and immigration? The rules are this. Each one of these has rules. If Bernie Sanders says Bernie as part of Fighting Oligarchy Tour, Durham, North Carolina, then the market resolves to yes. Sources from the New York Times, the Associated Press, Reuters, and all of this are what is used to determine whether this resolves to yes. That's pretty crazy, because if you are the chief of staff for Bernie Sanders and you say, hey, I just put, I just paid 61 cents a contract to then gain 49 cents or 39 cents a contract, just say the word middle class and I make money. And if you're the speechwriter, put it on the stinking prompter. Dame, what the heck, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad they're using sources that they'll be able to double check and make sure this happens, transcripts and all that fun stuff. But some of these are just way too easy to manipulate. If people wanted to take that route, I mean, if because this isn't going to be the only one for Bernie Sanders or a political pundit or political figure or sports figure. These are way too easy to manipulate. Way too easy.
To your point, Dame, I think it's when one person can change the outcome. That's where your hang up probably is. Whether the Seahawks win the Super Bowl is like, well, that's contingent on lots of people coming in together to manipulate this. That'd be crazy if the whole team threw the Super Bowl. But it's like, this just takes one person. Like, Bernie's not watching the prediction market, and his speechwriter is, and says, this could go pretty well for me, ladies and gentlemen.
Will Pete take his shirt off at Pilates next week?
Pete gets to decide whether that happens or not.
Exactly.
I think the people decide. The thing is, no, people didn't hear that story before the show, Kristen.
That was just an example.
Democratic nominee for president in 2028 currently Gavin Newsom has a 32% chance, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez at 9%, and Josh Shapiro at 8%. Dame, if you purchased a contract at 32 cents, then you would make 68 cents on that in the event that that Gavin Newsom becomes the Democratic nominee for president. And I'll be honest with you, and I read this morning, I thought to myself, that's kind of what I think is going to happen.
Seems like easy money.
And at 32%, that's a pretty big return.
Great payout.
It's a stupendous payout.
Which one is this on? I'm going to create an account as soon as
No.
I finish here.
I'm not. Yes.
I have a logistics question. How does so you get the payout for when you buy in, regardless?
Because someone buys the other end of it.
Yeah.
Got it. So it's like, if right now it would pay you out, 60 cents or whatever, as you get closer, whoever has bought the other side has less of a return, even if the outcome is what you both predicted.
Yeah.
Wow.
How about this? Fed decision in March.
No.
Fed maintains the rate. 93% of the prediction market says nothing's going to happen. 7% says it's going to cut at 25 bips, and 2% of people say it's going to cut more than 25 bips.
2% of people are wrong.
Okay, so 2% of people, you buy those contracts, you get, I can't do the math on it, but thousands % return.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, there are people that theoretically know this.
Truly.
Yeah.
So, Kristen, now that we've talked about prediction markets on the show today, what do you think of them now that you more deeply understand them?
I understand them, and I wouldn't say that as a rule they're gambling, but monetizing them is gambling. Like, this is where we are as a nation, and I feel sad about it, to be honest.
How about this, Dame? Pro basketball slam dunk contest participants. Will Giannis Antetokounmpo do it? Less than a 1% chance. He could buy 1 cent contract that he will and make unlimited money on that. And all he has to do is go to Adam Silver and say, I'm one of the most popular players in the world and I want to be in the dunk contest.
But there has to be somebody to buy the other side of that contract, right?
Everyone will. That's why it's 1 cent.
They'll
99% of people think he's not going to be. So anyone would buy that. But he knows.
True.
Coming up after the break, we're going to calm down. It's crazy. It's fascinating. Now, don't go out there opening contracts. I'm Pete the Planner. This is the Pete the Planner Show. Dane, when I was reading through some of these today, I was like, okay, I got it. What do they need for an account?
Why am I way more interested in this than any sports gambling site right now?
I agree. I think it's the political stuff that's the most interesting. So the categories that are here are politics, sports, culture, crypto, climate, economics, mentions. Oh, we got to look at that. Companies and financials. Let's look at mentions.
I'm going to put a suggestion in our company suggestion box that one of the benefits we have is like a company $50 donation to prediction market account of your choice.
Bad news, gentlemen. My laptop, for some reason, is not charging. I don't know why. It tells me that I'm going to lose power. So you're going to lose me. Oh, wait. We might be fine.
Oh
Sorry. I'm sorry. It was just like, your Mac is going to like shut down and it's plugged in. So I was panicking a little bit, but we're good.
I just pulled up our bereavement policy. Dame, here's one. Announcers at the Michigan State-Wisconsin game, will they say the word alley-oop? 47% of people believe they will, or 47, whatever the chances. The chance is 47 cents. If you're an announcer, by the way, I know a college basketball announcer very well. I could text him right now, bet on what that he says during his broadcast, and win and buy him a steak dinner.
See if he's aware of that. I mean, I don't know what school he announces for, but if there's markets out there, well, everybody's looking for a little side hustle.
Apparently. Sometimes I hear about these things. I'm like, I am going the wrong way about all of this. You ever feel that way?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's keep going because I am chatty today, and that is a problem. That ain't it. Sorry, everybody. Okay, biggest waste of money in the week, and 3, 2, 1. This week's biggest waste of money of the week, right here on the Pete the Planner Show, is the QuasarCon Chester lounge chair, transparent PVC and chrome-plated steel. Define the Chester lounge chair, the inflatable icon from QuasarCon's 1968 aerospace collection. It bears the manufacturer's mark Aerospace Quasar, made in Francais. Dubbed a mad scientist by peers, Con's diverse work spanned ships, planes, architecture, cars, and furniture. While engineering Canada's Manicouagan 5 dam, he replaced toxic mercury and lead with compressed air. A breakthrough that inspired his inflatable furniture line. The aerospace collection became a milestone in furniture design, exhibited at Centre Pompidou, MoMA, some other fancy places. Anyway, you can buy this inflatable chair. I got to be honest with you. There's an Urban Outfitters at the Fashion Mall at Keystone, and this looks like that side table of crap they have, and this inflatable chair looks like something you could buy there. And with that, Kristen, I go to you. How much is this QuasarCon Chester lounge chair, this inflatable chair?
Based on the way the copy was written, I fear this chair is $500.
Okay, Dame.
Oh no.
First, this is a high design pool float for your living room. Is what this looks like if you are on the radio. Second, I already know what this is, so I cannot participate. I abstain.
They bought one. How do you know?
I had to do a bomb for the news this morning for what I record, and this just happens to be the one I used.
Hey, you go to my site.
I must have.
Kristen, the fix is in. The prediction markets would say that Dame has found the site of which I go to pull these, and it's cheating. The fix is in.
Dame should have bet that he was going to get the biggest waste of money of the week this week. How much is it?
$18,300.
It looks, if it was pink, I would tell you that this was in my Barbie dream house as a child.
It's good to know. I wouldn't have suspected you as a Barbie Dreamhouse gal.
What? And Polly Pockets.
Oh, well, I am that. Dame, what is in the news this week?
If the AI boom runs on electricity, it's being financed with something far less futuristic: bonds. This week, Alphabet raised nearly $32 billion in under a day, including a rare 100-year bond offering this much annually. Pete, did you see how much this bond from Google offers for 100 years?
The percentage? Oh, like, yeah.
What's the coupon?
10%? I didn't see it.
Oh my gosh, no.
Okay.
Good. No.
Way lower than that, apparently.
6?
Sixth and an eighth. 6.125.
That's high for
That's
100
high.
years.
100 years.
Why would you not buy that?
I don't know. Well, apparently a lot of people wanted to because it was. This didn't put it in there. They were way more dollars were thrown at them than they had available in bonds. Oracle did the same thing not that long ago. They offered $25 billion in bonds, and investors tried to throw $129 billion at them for
Because what? Google is so strapped for cash.
No, it's just a cheaper way to not dilute shareholder value.
Yeah, they talk about
For 100 years.
Yeah. Debt.
AI's forever, Kristen. But yeah, lots of cash being raised by tech companies because, well, they're going to spend a whole lot. Alphabet's going to ramp capital spending from about $91 billion next year to $185 billion the year after that. Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, and hyperscalers projected to spend roughly $700 billion this year alone, more than 60% last year on AI construction.
Dame, did you invest in that? And that's how you're able to afford those Quasar Con Chester Lounge shares at your house?
2. Yeah.
What else is in the news?
A new report suggests financial stress is spreading higher up the income ladder in the United States, not just among lower income households. Higher earning Americans are increasingly falling behind on key bills like mortgages, credit cards, and auto loans as debt mounts and living costs outpace incomes. Credit counselors say the average client now earns around $70,000 a year and is carrying roughly $35,000 in unsecured debt, about double pre-pandemic levels. Delinquency rates on household debt climbed to their highest point since 2017 late last year, with credit cards and car loans showing notable increases. Experts point to rising costs, elevated interest rates, and softer job markets as key pressures squeezing budgets. Even those who once had financial buffers are finding themselves relying on credit to cover essentials. And some analysts warn this trend could dampen consumer spending. See Kalshi for more details. Just
Good.
Kalshi was. Yeah.
Look, I'm going to say something that's not popular.
Mm.
You spend too much money.
Mm.
Okay. That like it might dampen consumer spending. Good. We can't afford it. I'm sorry. If the unsecured debt of a client who has $70,000, they have half of their household income in unsecured debt, we need to reduce consumer spending.
My first thought in hearing this story is the K-shaped recovery of the economy is the bottom legs getting a different shape.
Yeah.
I think the K shape, it's a capital K. Is that the one that that's got the shorter up top and then the longer leg on the bottom? Is that how that works?
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, capital K. I mean, I'm a handwriting expert, as you guys both know. So I think that's right.
Speaking of the paragon of spending decisions, the U.S. government's budget hole is poised to get a lot deeper, according to a new forecast, not prediction market, forecast from the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office. The watchdog projects that the federal deficit will be nearly $1.9 trillion this year and stay around that level for the next couple of years before climbing sharply over the next decade. By 2036, annual shortfalls are expected to exceed $3 trillion, driven largely by rising interest costs on national debt, an aging population, blame it on the old people, sure, and growing healthcare obligations. That means more of the government's revenue will go towards paying interest on borrowed money, squeezing funds available for things like defense, infrastructure, and social programs. Public debt is projected to exceed 120% of GDP, topping its post-World War II peak. Even though recent tax cuts and tariff revenues help in the short term, analysts warn the fiscal path is not sustainable without changes to spending or revenues.
How much money did they get paid to come up with that analysis? Hey, we spend too much money.
Yeah.
I have a story.
About spending?
I have two stories. No, news stories. I want to.
Oh.
45% of young men ages 18 to 25 have never approached a woman for a date. And that,
how many?
45% have never asked anyone on a date. That is to say that is why we have an aging population.
Maybe they just get asked out.
Yeah, that's totally it. Another news item I have for you all about the prediction markets, and I didn't want to mention this in the show because it is a news item and it is not exactly. Anyway, Donald Trump Jr. in January of 2025 was appointed a strategic advisor at Kalshi and also serves as an advisor and investor in Polymarket. So if you want to talk about how these things could potentially be influenced and monetized, the President of the United States namesake is a strategic advisor to both.
I told you it's giving Congress.
Yeah, I think that's given executive branch, Queen. All right. Well, hey, I feel like people learned something today. I mean, not always on this show.
Yeah,
True.
I did.
All right, Dame, big plans for the weekend, Valentine's Day.
Of course not.
Kristen,
No.
I'll be disappointing my wife. All right, everybody. So thanks for listening or watching or whatever it is you do, feeling. Sending good vibes because good vibes are all that's in the budget. I'm Pete the Planner, Pete the Planner Show. That was a good show. I think that was a good show.
I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
I threw that little news nugget at the very, 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 very end because I don't want people to think that this was like all an attempt to like politicize something, but that doesn't feel right.
Totally get it.
I mean, hell, as far as I know, Hunter Biden is also an advisor to both those places. You know, who knows? I don't.
Truly.
All right, we did it.
Yay.
Not one Bad Bunny reference.
Wow.
There was $100 million in contracts on what song he would sing first.
Oh,
On what song he would sing first?
people would know.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, thanks, guys. We went long. That's my fault. Kristen, good to see you. Dame, you look enough alike that I see you every morning in the mirror.
All the time.
Everyone else, stay getting money.